Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of our viewing audience. My name is Ted Zarzechny, and I'm the chairman of the Selection Commission. What you are now seeing, and in which you are participating as viewers, is an official meeting publicly broadcast of the Selection Commission, tasked with recommending at least 32 candidates to be considered by the High Council of Justice for appointment of 16 persons to be the members of the High Qualification Commission of Judges of Ukraine. The purpose of this official meeting is to admit the candidates who have applied to the competition for this selection as required by Article 95, paragraph 16 of the Ukrainian law on the judiciary and the status of judges. On behalf of my colleague members of the Selection Commission, I welcome you, all our viewers. A special welcome to you, the candidates who have applied to be considered for our recommendation. We welcome as well any members of the High Council of Justice and their Secretariat, as well as the Secretariat of the High Qualification Commission of Judges of Ukraine, and the members of our own Secretariat who may be viewing this meeting. We thank you all for your continuing support. Speaking of our supporters and partners in our process, we welcome viewers from the Ukrainian civil society organization concerned with judges' appointments and the administration of justice in Ukraine. These include ANTAC, De Jure, CPLR, Automaidan, and the Ukrainian Bar Association, to mention only a few. Our supporters also include NABU and the NACP, and we welcome many viewers from these organizations as well. Lastly, we welcome as viewers those of you who are members of the public of Ukraine, as well as the public media. It is for you, the citizens of Ukraine, that this judicial reform process of which our Selection Commission is a part is being undertaken. I turn now to my colleague, Justice Ivan Mischenko, Vice Chairman of the Commission and a judge of the Supreme Court of Ukraine, to bring you greetings. Judge Mischenko.
Thank you, Ted. Дякую, шановні колеги.
Thank you, dear colleagues. Today, this is an official meeting, and it is dedicated to the approval of the final list of candidates who are admitted to the selection process. Like we all know, how challenging the situation is today in Ukraine since the beginning of the year with a full-fledged war, and unfortunately, our selection process had to be suspended, but we all were trying to do everything possible to resume our operation, and today we're glad to introduce the first outcome of the selection process. This is the final list of candidates to be admitted to the selection process. Thank you very much, and let us keep going.
Thank you, Judge Mischenko. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it appropriate at this early point in our official meeting to give you an introduction and to have introduced to you by the members themselves, the members of our Selection Commission. We have previously introduced ourselves in prior official meetings. However, there may be some new viewers who have not had that pleasure. I will begin. My name is Justice Ted Zarzechny. I am the chairman of the Selection Commission, as I indicated at the outset. I have 51 years of experience in the law, 25 years as a professional lawyer, and 22 years as a federal court judge of the Court of Queen's Bench for Canada. I've had the privilege of working in Ukraine, assisting in the education of judges for the last 10 years, since 2012. and I had the privilege of being appointed a member and vice chairman of the Public Council of International Experts, assisting the High Qualification Commission of Ukraine in choosing the 39 judges of the High Anti-Corruption Courts of Ukraine. I now turn the floor to Justice Ivan Mishchenko to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Ted. Шановні колеги,
Dear colleagues, my name is Ivan Mishchenko, Justice of the Supreme Court, Deputy Chairperson of the Selection Commission. Thank you for your attention.
I now turn the floor to Robert Broekhuizen. Robert, if you would introduce yourself, please.
Yes, please. Thank you, Ted. My name is Robert Broekhuizen. I'm a lawyer, attorney from the Netherlands, former prosecutor and a corruption specialist. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Robert. Next, I invite the introduction of Yevgen Mezentsev.
Дякую, Теде.
Thank you, Ted. My name is Yevhen Mezentsev. I'm a judge of the 6th Administrative Court of Appeal. I was twice elected to the Council of Judges of Ukraine. And presently, I'm a member of the Selection Commission. And honestly speaking, today, I'm so glad to see all my colleagues and everybody who is watching us right now. Indeed, we are moving from planning, from developments, projects, to the actual implementation, to working with documents. We need to approve the list of those admitted to the selection process. I wish you every success, both to ourselves and our candidates.
Thank you, Yevgen. I turn now to Justice Stephen Markman.
Thank you, Ted. I am Stephen Markman. It is a privilege to serve on the Selection Commission of Ukraine. I have been a prosecutor in the United States Department of Justice for many years, and have also served as a justice on the Supreme Court of Michigan for more than 20 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. And last but not least, Justice Sergey Verlanov.
Дякую, Тед.
Thank you very much, Ted. Dear colleagues, my name is Sergey Verlanov. I work as a judge at the Kyiv Court of Appeal. Since 2021, I was appointed as a member of the Selection Commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergey. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with those introductions and those introductory words, I will now turn to the business portion of our official meeting. The first motion I present to you, colleagues, for your acceptance is a motion, and you have it before you, a copy of the meeting agenda. I invite you to approve and accept the meeting agenda as presented to you. All in favor, please raise your hands. All right. Let me move on to the second motion of our meeting, and that is a motion to accept me as chairman of this meeting. All in favor, please show your hands. Opposed, if any? None. Both motions accepted unanimously. Colleagues and members of the Selection Commission, you have before you a list of 301 candidates, which are now presented for our approval by resolution, appointing and nominating those 301 candidates for admission to the competition. I present to you at this time a resolution for approval of the 301 candidates for admission to the competition for the membership of the High Qualification Commission, of Judges of Ukraine. All in favor, please raise your hands. Opposed, if any? Carried unanimously. At this point in the meeting, I would like to turn the floor over to Justice Ms. Schenkel, our Deputy Chairman, and he will make a brief presentation to you, particularly for the attention of the candidates, of the next steps in the candidate review process, and as well to share with you the personal profile of the 301 candidates that we have now accepted for admission to the competition. Justice Mischenko.
Thank you, Ted. Шановні колеги, давайте дійсно...
Esteemed colleagues, let us indeed start with a little bit of statistical data. Let us see the entire profile of our candidates and try to realize who they are and where they come from. If we can put up this slide, please. Is there a slide? All right. I'm going to begin without a slide. Oh, there is one. Thank you. I didn't see it just. Since we have approved the list, we have admitted 301 candidates. And this means that our selection process will have 13 persons per one position. And so far, this is the best performance out of all the selection processes that have ever taken place in Ukraine, and we're so proud of it. We want to thank all the candidates for their trust in our work. And I want to thank you for trusting in their capacities and for having taken advantage of this great opportunity to continue positive and quality changes in our system of justice. So, a little bit of a statistic for you. For the 16 positions in the HQCJ, there are 68% of males and 32% of females. As you can see here on the slide, the age parameters. From the standpoint of professional experience, out of those admitted candidates, 32%, this is 97 persons, are judges, 21% or 64 persons. These are mixed professional profiles, 17%, 50 people, are academics, 15%, 45 people, are lawyers, 3.6%, 11 persons are retired judges, also another 11%, oh, sorry, 11 persons, 3.6% are prosecutors, 3% are representatives of law enforcement, and 5% have other judicial specialties. So let us talk a little bit about where our candidates come from and where we have most of them from. The greatest number of applications from the candidates have become from legal professionals based in Kyiv and the region, 36%. The second place ranked by Lviv region, 26 candidates. Third place is Kharkiv, 25 candidates or 8.3%. The fourth place is Odessa region, 7%. And the fifth place is Dnipro. I have to underline that despite a very challenging situation and a war going on in Ukraine, we would like to extend our words of gratitude to all the candidates, especially from those regions that are currently being suffering from the warfare and combat. In spite of this, the candidates still found an opportunity to participate in the selection process. And again, we cannot repeat it enough that we as commission members will do everything possible to make sure the selection process is genuine, transparent, and well justified, in line with all the criteria that we had approved in our methodology. I want to, of course, wish you every success. I want to thank the colleague of mine, Yevhen, and we all together, on behalf of the Commission, wish you every success. In the next phase, we're going to be reviewing all the applications as well as all the documents, plus the information that we're going to be receiving from open sources and law enforcement, civil society, etc. We just want to make sure we can do a comprehensive analysis of all the information regarding each and every candidate. After this, we're going to approve the next list of the candidates who will be invited for interviews. The interviews will be taking place on Zoom. So after we have done the interviews, we will have to again analyze all the findings, and afterwards we're going to approve the list of 32 plus candidates that will be recommended to the High Council of Justice, and then the HCJ will approve the final list of 16 individuals who will be appointed as HQCJ members, 8 of whom will be judges or retired judges, and another 8 will be representatives of other legal professions. That's roughly how the plan looks like. Not to take too much of your precious time. Actually, this is everything I wanted to share with you for now. Once again, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Justice Mischenko. I should advise all of our viewers, and particularly the candidates, that all of this information that we have presented today will be published on the High Council of Justice website, but as well, including, of course, very importantly, the list of 301 candidates admitted to the competition. And it will also be posted at our web pages of the Selection Commission. I will underscore that we to fully broadcast, much as we are today, the interview of the 64 candidates that will be recommended for the interviews. The second phase or step in this process as mandated by the law to support the transparency of our operations. I wish to address a few remarks, if I may, in closing, to our 301 applicants. The law on the judicial status of judges describes our selection commission process and the work as a competition. For the members of our commission, we are determined to choose and to recommend to the High Council of Justice for appointment, through our analysis of all of the information that we are provided on you, the candidates, the best of the best. As is the case with the marathon, when hundreds of persons enter a race, not everyone will win the race or place in the top 32 best runners. So too, not every one of you 301 applicants can be recommended to the High Council of Justice for appointment as one of the 16 members of the High Qualification of Judges of Ukraine. By the law, our selection commission must recommend not less than 32 applicants, 2 for every 1 person to be appointed. Just as runners entering the race must train long and hard to have a chance to win the race or to be in the top 32, so too you, as candidates, will offer to us your lifetime of education, knowledge, and experience, including not less than 15 years of work in the law, as your qualifications to be recommended by our selection commission. Some of you have worked harder, some longer, some have achieved more, some will have more experience, some will have been given more responsibility and achieved excellence and recognition as the best of your profession as lawyers, judges, and academics. For those of you who are not chosen by us for recommendation to the High Council of Justice, you should not feel rejected. You have offered what you have to offer to serve the citizens of Ukraine in this most important position of responsibility. Simply put, there are others of you, 301 candidates, who will be judged, analyzed, and assessed by us to be more qualified by the criteria of the law to be recommended to the High Council of Justice. As my colleagues have done, we thank all of you, 301, for your applications. Our commission will now continue its very important work to determine and recommend further candidates in this process. Judge Mischenko, do you have any further or closing remarks?
Thank you, Ted. Знову ж таки, шановні колеги, бажаю
Again,
всім
dear colleagues, I want to wish you and ourselves as well every success, and we all together have a hope that everything will work on time with best quality, and this selection process will set the new standards and trends for all the selection processes in the judiciary to come. I want to thank everybody of you. All the best.
Thank you, Judge Mischenko. Colleagues, that completes the business of our meeting. I now present for your approval a motion to adjourn and close this meeting. All in favor, please raise your hands. All right, unanimously approved. The meeting is now officially closed. Thank you all.
Thank you.